University in Paul Patterson Court at Mobile Arena. for today's Crossroads League game between Grace College Lancers and your Taylor Trojans. As a championship character institution, Taylor University asks each of you to embrace the NAIA's 5 core character values of respect, integrity, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. Create a positive environment for today's contest. And now, for our starting lineups. First, for our visitors from Grace. Starting at guard, 6'5" freshman from Plainfield, Indiana. Number 3, Jacob Gibbs. Also at guard, 6'1" junior from Harvard, Indiana. Number 4, James Gill. At forward, 6'5" freshman from Chesterton, Indiana. Number 20, Jake Wadding. At forward, 6'7" sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 32, Frankie Davidson. And at center, 6'9" freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 15, Elijah Malone. Your answers are coached by Scott Moore, assistant by Jordan Reiner, Stephen Halstead, and Marcus Moore.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the place to be in East Central Indiana today. Odell Arena. This place is packed to the gills and ready for Senior Day. Grace coming in to take on Taylor. The Lancers, winners of the first game, comfortably in Winona Lake. And we are ready to rock and roll against the 4th place Grace Lancers and the 7th place Taylor Trojans. Crossroads League tournament implications heavy here on Senior Day today. The Trojans win the opening tip, and they will change the starting lineup. Gavin Yoon remains in. Caden Furman will come off the bench today, so Jeff Clayton back in the order. And that's probably because the Trojans have to deal with the 6'9" big man, Elijah Malone. Here's Jason Hubbard, the Player of the Year candidate, leading scorer in the Crossroads League. First shot and a make. Mr. and Mrs. Hubbard, a round of applause across from us. Jason had 16 and 10 in Taylor's loss to Spring Arbor Tuesday. Grace coming off of a 79-59 beat down to Goshen. Also, actually on Wednesday. Here's Eddie Gill, defended by the freshman Jackson Lewis. Outside to Jacob Gibbs, the big man Malone. 6'9", large, one dribble kick out Frankie Davidson. He'll push off of Hubbard. Near side, Wadding goes up. Jeff Clayton denies the shot. The ball knocked around. Malone gets it, trying to overpower Clayton. Justin Hubbard knocked it away. Ball volleyballed in the air. Malone had it knocked away, loose on the floor. Malone will gobble it up. A head fake, and he'll go maneuvering down the lane. Misses a point-blank layup. Wadding had it knocked out of his hands by Hahn, and an extra hustled defensive first possession for the home side. It took Jason a while to get going offensively last week against Bethel, then he erupted in the second half. He'll take a long two this side. Fouled on the arm, and an unbelievable start for Jason Hubbard. Fouled by Wadding, and it's an opportunity for a 5-0 Jason Hubbard start for the Player of the Year candidate. First on Wadding, first on Grace. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Hubbard picked a good game to return to Odell Arena 2. Their son starts 2 for 2. Jason leads the league in scoring, third in rebounds, second in free throw makes, second in free throw attempts. Player of the Year candidate, yeah, duh. 5-0 for the surefire All-American, and on the short list along with Frankie Davidson, who he guards here on the Crossroads League Player of the Year watch list. Jay Gibbs, his twin brother Cade will come off the bench. Davidson steps in for a long 2. He'll bang that one in as he was the beneficiary of the Malone screen. 5-2 the Taylor lead, so the 2 Player of the Year candidates score our first 7 points of the game. 5 for Hubbard on the first 2 possessions, and then 2 here for Davidson. He'll guard Hahn, perimeter left, spins into the paint as Malone hangs out in the lane. Hahn caught in trouble, will float it out to the volleyball line, far side, and Hubbard. Trojans in the home whites with purple numbers, purple letters. Hubbard gets into Wadding, and he draws the push off on Hubbard. Jeff Clayton doesn't like it because the Trojans thought there should have been one against Wadding back on the opening possession. So the first misstep for Jason here, 1 minute and 54 seconds in here to half number 1. Grace from right to left there in red with white numbers and white letters trimmed in black. Jay Gibbs will run the point. Third year at Grace along with his brother, the redshirt freshman. Gill trying to take Lewis to the rack. Bodies him up, poked out of his hands by Clayton, then poked away by Lewis, and then stolen by Yoon. Excellent defense for the Trojans. Yoon, a pitch out. Hahn thought about transition 3. How about a left corner Yoon 3 ball? Oh, halfway down and out. And the entire Taylor students from our right almost leapt out of the gym. Lewis dives on the floor and tried to keep the ball in possession for the Trojans. Our biggest student crowd of the year outside of Silent Night, and this place is rattling with every Taylor momentum swing. Taylor 2 of 3 to start, Grace 1 of 4. The bench is juiced, the Taylor students juiced. Grace got as high as 7th in the country to start the year. They won their first 13 games, and they've gone just 7-7 since, as they've come back down to earth. We're running to it. Looked like they're going to run away and high with the league title, but 7-7 since. Malone with Clayton poking at it, left block. Malone trying to overpower Clayton. Lewis there to help. Clayton comes in, he got him on the arm. They don't list the weights for Malone, but he's got to be north of 270. But is a nimble big man at 6'9" and almost 300. First on Jeff, second one on Taylor. And Malone, an excellent free throw shooter for a man his size at 71%. And a calm, just beautiful release for Malone. Brings Grace to within 2. He's also a fantastic three-point shooter as Malone at 54%. Listed as a freshman, he'll miss this one long off the back of the rim. It remains a 2-point Taylor lead at 5-3. They've gone scoreless for about a minute. Hubbard's got the ball. He's got all 5 of Taylor's points. Hahn was open for a moment as Davidson comes to guard him. Not a single senior on the Grace roster. Everyone's been reclassified. Fade away. Oh, Gavin Yoon, a tough one from the free throw line. First non-Jason Hubbard points, and the Trojans go back in front by 4. We'll get into this more as the day goes on, but every player on the Grace roster has already been reclassified. So if they're a sophomore, they're really a junior. They've been at Grace for more than 2 years, like Frankie Davidson, sophomore, but he started his career at UND, and he's in his second season at Grace. He's got 4, and he draws the Lancers back to within a deuce, down 7-5. 3.5 gone here in this opening half. Taylor trying to get one of their bigger wins of the year after a tough loss to Spring Arbor Tuesday. Yoon almost fouled from behind by Gill. Near sideline, Hubbard gives off to Clayton. Could not get the handoff. Good defense from Gill on Yoon. Little dump out near side Lewis. Guarded by Jay Gibbs with 5 to shoot. Hubbard with Wadding guarding him, rising for a 3. Oh, Jason Hubbard is starting to cook. 8 for Hubbard, 3 of 3 from the floor, and Taylor leads 10-5. A statement game for the Trojans, potentially a statement game for Hubbard. Gibbs around the Malone screen, barrels into Lewis, charge going the other way. Excellent read from Lewis as Jay Gibbs turned the corner and went right through Lewis. Media timeout, the Taylor bench, hype. The Taylor students, hype. Taylor parents, also hype. 10-5 Taylor, well, just over 4 minutes in.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
The Taylor students to sing along with Mr. Brightside by the Killers. Right now it's Taylor 10, Jason Hubbard 8, and Grace 5. Taylor's made 4 of their first 5 shots, Grace 2 of 5. And Hubbard's got the only 3-point basket here of the afternoon. No changes to either 5 as Yoon operates near side with Gill defending him. Gill, one of the best wing defenders in the Crossroads League. Yoon got free, misses his right wing 3 off the right side of the rim. It's an 0 for 2 start from distance for Gavin Yoon, who had 16 points on 3 of 6 3-point shooting Tuesday at Spring Arbor. Lewis steps in, forces Gill to pick it up, who's finally healthy after missing portions of the last 2 seasons with injuries. Jay Gibbs, mismatch it. Hubbard beat his shot away, and then Hubbard glares at him menacingly. Left sideline, Yoon. Trying to get around the Hahn screen, pitching off to Clayton, open from 18 feet, he won't let her fly. Taylor sends it far sideline with Hahn, guarded by Gill. Clayton came for the screen, Jeff Clayton around to Lewis. Near side Hubbard, Wadding defends. Hubbard's yet to miss a shot, 3 of 3. 1 of 1 from 3, now 2 of 2 from 3, and Hubbard's got 11 points and is just putting his imprint all over the game today. A 4 for 4 start for the Player of the Year candidate, Jason Hubbard. Good thing we reclassified him as a junior. By the way, he's coming back next year. Wadding goes in, lost it on the way up, and then stillhow rattled it in for a deuce. That ball got knocked out of Wadding's hands. He got it back in and then rattled her home. 2 subs about to come in. It'll be Furman and Javel Redwood for the Trojans. C. Gibbs, and a foul on the other side on Cade's twin brother, Jacob. Both out of Plainfield. They both redshirted their freshman year at Grace, or in their second year listed as freshmen. So 2 on Jay Gibbs. He'll exit as Yoon and Clayton exit. And this is a game pinpoint for Javel Redwood. 6'10", 260 against the 6'9" Malone. Carter Stoltzfus in for GC, a dead-eye 3-point shooter, the freshman for the Lancers. Also in is Bryson Graber, a fantastic assist man. Hahn off the handoff from Redwood. Dribbles to the top, defended by Frankie Davidson. Furman open look at 3. Furman right off the bench and buries a triple. Taylor 3 of 5 from distance, and the Trojans have opened up a 9-point lead. Hot shooting from the home side. C. Gibbs to Stoltzfus and then Davidson. Hubbard right there with them. Fights over the Malone screen. Hahn comes to help on a pitch-in. Graber back to Davidson, far sideline. Davidson crossing over, got to the baseline. Redwood there to help. Malone thought about a 3 as Lewis defended. Near side to Graber, an open look at 3. Will spin off the back of the rim, and it's rebounded by Lewis of Taylor, far side. First take from 3 for Grace, and they missed it. Hahn, a 3. Oh, that one went off the front of the rim, as this place really would have gone bonkers if Hahn could have got her to drop. C. Gibbs will find the trailing Malone. Bluffs a 3, trying to take Redwood to the rack. Nice move around the cutting Jackson Lewis, and Malone lays it in for his first field goal. 3 for the big man, and that draws Grace to within 7. Redwood, Hubbard, Hahn, Lewis, and Furman. The 5 out there for Taylor. Furman did not start today. It's the first time he has not started all season. Hubbard has yet to miss a shot. Cade Gibbs trying to slow him down. Furman will rise from 18 feet straight away. That one hit off the glass right side of the rim and nothing else. Here comes Grace up the floor with Bryson Graber, a very talented freshman from Washington, Indiana. Furman guards him. Down the lane he goes. Hubbard got into the air. C. Gibbs lost it. Got it back. Spins away. Doesn't want to go against Hubbard. Right side three from Davidson. Will miss short. Graber will tap it back out, and Grace able to reset. Davidson, first miss of the afternoon from three. Lobbing it in. He's got Furman on low. Goes up, bangs in, and lays it in for a deuce. 6 for Frankie Davidson, who was running away with the Player of the Year award back in the first semester. He's got 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Back to within 5 is Grace. Redwood, perimeter right to the volleyball line, and Hubbard with 4 subs ready to check into the dead ball for Taylor. 1 will come in for Grace. Lewis was open. They didn't give it to him. High post right side. Redwood wants to go to Furman. Can't. Whips it outside to Hubbard with 7 around the screen. Rising over Malone for another 2. And Hubbard starts 5 of 5 from the floor for a game-high 13 points. He's outscored Grace by himself. And it's back to a 7-point Taylor lead. Around the screen goes Stoltzfus. The lefty will rainbow it home from the free throw line. Big screen set by Malone, and his wing players are the beneficiaries every time. Back to within 5 of the Lancers. They're shooting 50% from the floor. Taylor at 64%. Near corner Lewis to Redwood. Pitching back to Jackson Lewis. Denied a 3. Spins away. Up and he goes off the back of the rim. Long for Lewis on his first shot of the afternoon. Davidson hauls it in. Nobody guards Cade Gibbs. Hahn to defend. Bumps him. He'll miss the shot. Does C. Gibbs. Will go to the line for 2 on the foul by Hahn. His first and the third one against Taylor. Taylor leading by 5. They've led by as many as 7 as 4 Taylor subs about to come in. And it looks like Malone will be the one to check out for GC. Cade Gibbs, 6'6" freshman, an inch taller than his twin brother Jacob. First of 2, front rim, and that one will roll off. Gibbs not a good free throw shooter at just 68%. So Redwood out along with Hahn, Lewis, and Hubbard will get a breather. Grant Niehaus makes his first appearance of the day, along with Jacob Kinsey, with Gavin Yoon and Jeff Clayton coming back in. Elijah Malone is out for GC. Second free throw good for C. Gibbs. It draws Grace to within 4. The new man in is Ian Scott. Very long freshman, very bouncy for GC. Taylor the Rock leading by 4. They've led the entire way. Yoon almost put his man on skates, far side to Furman. Right there as Graber Holt reaches out and almost touches him. Around a Clayton screen goes Furman, hesitate, goes in. Near side, Niehaus, right wing, 3 ball, and everything's fallen for the Trojans. First triple for Grant Niehaus, just 23% on the season. And the Trojan lead back to 7 on the 4th made first half 3 for Taylor. C. Gibbs against the smaller Niehaus, spins in, Grant knocked it away, and a stolen near side by Furman. Excellent defense for Niehaus as Kinsey will glide over the near side. Furman trails, now far sideline Yoon, with Taylor leading by 7, 21-14, 10:40 left to go in an exciting first half from Upland, Indiana. Kinsey out to Clayton, and then Furman, and then near sideline Niehaus. Niehaus guarded by Stoltzfus, takes the handoff from Clayton. He's in trouble with 7 to shoot. Here's Kinsey, draws right by Cade Gibbs. Shot was no good as Taylor fans look for a foul. A 4-on-2 break for Grace. Graber skipping near side to the lefty Stoltzfus. He'll angle and wait for reinforcements. Davidson, baseline right, defended by Furman and the Taylor man-to-man. Davidson just bully balls his way in, missed a point-blank layup, got his own miss. Clayton made him miss it, but Scott's there for the rebound and a putback. First basket for Ian Scott as the Trojans just could not clean the defensive glass. Great defensive efforts against the pogo stick Frankie Davidson. And Taylor head coach Josh Andrews will call a 30-second timeout, his team leading by 5.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Taylor shot the ball beautifully. The Trojan men hoping to not duplicate what we saw from the Grace women. They shot the lights out in the first half against the Taylor women, and then the Trojans had an avalanche in the second half for a commanding women's basketball victory earlier today. Right now it's a 5-point Taylor lead, 21-16. Coming out of the 32nd Taylor timeout. Niehaus, left elbow extended, fades away, left it short. Yoon trying to tap it to the baseline. Cade Gibbs slices in and takes it away. Taylor fans saying he stepped out of bounds. To the front court goes Graber, trying to dance with his freshman counterpart, Kinsey of Taylor. Stoltzfus, a powerfully built man wearing 2 in red. Outside, Graber doesn't want the open look at 3. Far side to Scott. It's the third-year freshman Gibbs, the third-year sophomore Davidson, and then 3 true freshmen for Grace. Davidson against Niehaus. Kinsey comes help, 7 to shoot. Stoltzfus measures a 3. Front rim short. Clayton with the rebound. Lost it from behind, but that's because Ian Scott held his forearm. Stoltzfus at 31% was a lights-out three-point shooter last year at Northridge High School. Misses that one from the far side. Is the first one on Ian Scott, who's 6'7", out of Plainfield, former high school mates of the Gibbs twins. Jason Hubbard back in to replace Furman, who did not start the game today. First time that's happened in the first 26 games of the year for Taylor. Hubbard has almost outscored Grace by himself. Did for a while. Now he trails 16-13. Taylor leading by 5. Niehaus, perimeter left with Davidson guarding him. Cade Gibbs guards Hubbard. Turns and looks at the basket. Has not missed a shot today with 7. Trying to go 3 for 3 from 3. And Jason Hubbard is white hot. 16 for Hubbard. 6 of 6 from the floor and 3 of 3 from downtown. Jason Hubbard cannot be stopped. C. Gibbs, baseline right, Niehaus spins into contact. Graber in the paint, little set shot, front rim, nope. Cade Gibbs will miss the putback, tapped up and in, rolls off the rim. Gibbs gets it and lays it in. More offensive rebounds for Grace. That pushes their total up to near 10 with now 8, as they've gotten multiple offensive rebounds their last 2 or 3 times down the floor. They've out-rebounded Taylor 14-5. The difference is Taylor has made 5 threes to Grace's none. Here's Hubbard with Taylor leading by 6. His first miss of the day comes right there after making his first 6 shots. GC behind the back bounce, Stoltzfus trailing Davidson. Nobody guards him and he misses a 3. Bad off the right side. Big box out from Hubbard as he chucks Scott out of bounds like a child. That was Hubbard just out-muscling Scott. Those are 2 big guys, 6'6" and 6'7". Media timeout with 7:58 to go in the first half. Taylor leading by 6, 24-18 over Grace on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Packed house inside Odell Arena today. A ton of students just surrounding us as we sit in our broadcast position high above Paul Patterson Court. Aaron Hahn returns to the Taylor lineup. He's out there with Jason Hubbard, Jacob Kinsey, Jeff Clayton, and Gavin Yoon. No changes to the Grace 5. Actually, there is one change, as Jake Whiting comes in to give Frankie Davidson his first breather of the day. Taylor with the ball out of the media timeout. They lead by 6. Kinsey, baseline, into the air, far sideline, Hahn. Shoulder stick and drive, spin from Hahn off the high glass, Wild. Missed, and then he's tied up in the backcourt, and they'll get Hahn for the reach, and that's number 2 on Aaron. 4 fouls now against the Trojans. Actually making on Jeff Clayton. That's Jeff's second. And he'll come out as Furman will come back in. So just 1 foul on Hahn. The Trojans can do this with the big man Malone on the bench right now for Grace. He is a matchup nightmare, both inside with his height and his just brute strength, but also can shoot the 3 ball really well too, to boot. But he's on the bench right now. C. Gibbs to Scott on the right, blocking against Hahn. Into the air, getting a piece of it was Kinsey. Stoltzfus able to gather it in near corner. Dribbling is Graber. Defended by Yoon. Inside the arc, mid-post right, C. Gibbs. 3 Trojans poke at it. C. Gibbs gets it weak side to Scott. Powers up for a 2-hand slam. 3 guys collapse for Taylor on C. Gibbs. He turned around and found the 6'7" Scott for a dunk. And that brings Grace to within 4, the closest they've been in some time, as we have 7 minutes remaining before halftime. Hubbard to Kinsey in the Taylor half-court set as they shoot on the basket to our left. Kinsey turn the corner, kick out Yoon for a 3-ball swish from the high left. First triple for Gavin Yoon. He's got 5, and the Trojan lead right back to 7. Gibbs goes up, his shot thwarted by Hubbard, but no one followed the miss. And C. Gibbs able to lay it in. He's got 5, and that brings Grace back to within 5. That's the 3rd or 4th block for Hubbard here in the opening half. Another category, he's top 10 in the league. C. Gibbs guards Hubbard, free throw line, Hahn fades away, front rim, couldn't get the friendly roll as it went off the glass and then fell away. Graber glides up the far sideline, quick entry pass, right block to Wadding, double team with Hubbard, out to C. Gibbs, measures a 3, and he bangs that one in off the back of the rim. Cade Gibbs just a 29% three-point shooter, and just like that, it's a 1-possession game with Grace down by a deuce. So Hubbard at 31%, Gibbs at 29%. They've made 4 threes between the two of them today. Hahn trying to get free, takes the handoff from Hubbard. A more than capable three-point shooter is Hahn. Perimeter right, Hubbard rips, shoves off, fade away, all right, and Cade grabs his grill, but it fell off as Gibbs tries again. Hubbard's here saying he held on to him. Far sideline, Graber, give and go. Scott got around Hahn, reverse layup, in the game tied at 27. 6 for Ian Scott off the bench as he has come in to replace Elijah Malone beautifully. Scott averages 8 per game. He's close to matching that in the first half with 5:30 to go. We're level at 27. Grace has not led today. This is also our first tie. Hubbard has missed his last 2 shots after making his first 6. He powers through 2 guys, and now he's got 18 in the first half. And Hubbard now 13th all-time in scoring. Losing it was Graber, but that's because holding on to his forearm was Taylor's Gavin Yoon. First on Gav, 5th on Taylor. Grant Jones makes his first appearance for TU. Jackson Lewis back in. Kinsey out along with Clayton. Jay Gibbs and Eddie Gill return for GC along with Wadding. They're out there with the 2 freshmen, Graber and Scott. Here's Graber, the all-time assist leader in high school basketball history in Indiana. Off to Gill, defended by Lewis. Gill, great size, spins, great feet, up and under, powers over Lewis, no good. Hubbard tapped it out, Furman will tap it into space. He'll scoop it up. Good job by Lewis to stay down and stay strong against the powerfully built Eddie Gill. And now Lewis will shake Gill away, almost fell over. Yoon thought about a 3 from the hash mark. We'll spin it off to Jones, perimeter left, hand off to Furman, turn in the corner, down the lane through contact, rolls off the rim, no good. Ball lost, couldn't get it, was Gibbs. Furman, in the air, altered his body, missed Jacob Gibbs. Second field goal, Furman. And Taylor's lead back to 4 with 4:25 left to go in the half. Scott tried to back down Jones. Graber, a 32% three-point shooter. Skipping near side to Scott. Hubbard pokes at it. Scott outside. Extra pass to Jake Wadding. Open look at 3. Front rim, no. And Hubbard gets his first rebound of the day on the miss from Wadding, a 35% three-point shooter. Hubbard glides. Circus layup somehow goes. 20 in the first half for the Player of the Year candidate, Jason Hubbard. 6-point Taylor lead, a 6-0 Taylor run. Jay Gibbs got Jones on a mismatch, and then Jones bodied him right before Hubbard collected block number 5. The Taylor faithful wanted an offensive foul on Jacob Gibbs for chucking Jones out of the way. It's the first on the freshman from Muncie, and the 6th on Taylor here in the first half. Jason Hubbard is a dude. 20 points on 8 of 10 shooting, and Grace has had no answer for him today. Jacob Gibbs, the twin brother of Cade, the way you can tell them apart, Jacob's a lefty. Furman and Yoon exit as Jay Gibbs makes the first free throw. Grant Niehaus in for Taylor. Luke Huffer in for the Trojans. And Elijah Malone makes his return. He replaces Graber. First free throw was good for Jay Gibbs, who averages 11 points per game. Really took off last year when his brother Cade got hurt and missed the rest of the year. Misses the free throw here. Last year averaged 8 points per game in the first 19, scored 16 per game in the last 13. Wadding has not been able to stop Hubbard all day. He gives off to Niehaus, who dribbles on the perimeter right. Lewis off a screen, Gill able to recover. Far sideline, Huffer, the 3-point specialist. Taylor leading by 5. They've led by as many as 7. Lewis trying to snap the ball away from Gill. Top of the key, Hubbard. Wadding right there with 7 to shoot. Hubbard 3 of 4 from 3. Bulldozes his way, and they're going to call a charge on Hubbard with Wadding backpedaling. The Taylor fans irate. Taylor head coach Josh Andrews irate. Wadding was running backwards on his heels, fell over, and now Hubbard trying to get an explanation from our officiating crew. Jason, a mild-mannered character, but irate right now, and the fans are letting our officials hear it. 3:15, Hubbard will stay in with the 2 personal fouls. He's been the best player on the floor, no question. Ball knocked out, then Jacob Gibbs trucked Jackson Lewis, but the ball was deflected away and went flying out of bounds. Luke Huffer can't believe it, saying it should be going his team's way. And now Hubbard will exit, and now Caden Furman will come in. So 20 of the Trojans' 13 first-half points going to the bench. Taylor head coach Josh Andrews is absolutely beside himself across from us on 2 calls that he thought should have gone his team's way. Wadding underneath, lays it around Furman, and Taylor head coach Josh Andrews takes the timeout as he continues to give our officials an earful today. 30-second Taylor timeout, their lead down to 3.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Taylor head coach Josh Andrews spent the majority of this, I guess it was a full timeout. I thought it was only a 30. But he spent the majority of this full timeout just wearing the ear out of one of our officials after the offensive foul on Hubbard, his second of the day on Wadding, who was backpedaling and falling over. It was the second on Jason, and then a ball that Trojans put their hands in on a drive from, I believe it was Wadding, and the ball went careening and trampolining and cannonballing out of bounds. They say it stayed here with Grace. Wadding got the hoop. Taylor out of the timeout, leading by 3 with Hubbard on the bench with the 2 personals. So someone else for Taylor has got to step in to fill the offensive void for the final 2:54. Furman could be that guy. His shot blocked on the way up by Malone. It tipped off of Jones's fingertips. Out and running, Davidson off to Wadding, who route beats everyone to the floor, and Wadding with 4 in a row for the Lancers. They now trail by just 1 at 33-32. Taylor shot 50% from the floor. Grace is now at 46%. Lewis with a long Wadding defending him. Near side Furman, the smaller Gill guards him, but fleet of foot is Gill. Jones, a handoff, Lewis, sends, fakes, shoots, misses it short. Niehaus, though, gets a baseline rebound, knocked out of his hands by Wadding. Furman will dive on the floor trying to save it, and as he did, it'll go back to Grace. Niehaus and the Taylor students try to help up Furman. Good hustle from Furman, who's got a sleeve on that left leg. Huffer out, Yoon in for the Trojans. 2:18 to go here in the first half. Taylor has led the entire way. We've had one tie. That was at 27, and then Taylor went on a 6-0 run. Davidson goes in. Niehaus got it out, but Davidson got it back in and laid it in as Niehaus fell down. First lead of the day right here for Grace, and it comes right when the Trojans' top player today and the best player on the floor, no questions asked, Jason Hubbard on the bench with 2 fouls. 34-33 the Grace lead with $1:50 left to go in the first half. Davidson guards Niehaus. Near side, Lewis. Top of the key, Jones. Malone comes out to guard him. Hand off to Yoon as Jay Gibbs fights through the screen. 7 to shoot with Davidson guarding Lewis. Lewis fakes and drives, almost lost it, spins right block, trying to find help, 2 and 1. Furman lets it go. It'll be after the horn, and the Trojans get called for the shot clock violation. 4th first half turnover for Taylor. Jones out and Hahn in for TU. That second foul on Hubbard, a killer. as he's been Taylor's best player, scoring 20 of the 33 for the Trojans. The attack for Grace, they have 4 players with at least 6, much more balance for those wearing red. Furman on a switch, guards Davidson, picks to the bounce. Malone fakes a 3 with Hahn guarding him. Far sideline, Jay Gibbs to Gill. Baseline right drive, nice Euro step from Gill and lays it in. First field goal for Eddie Gill. Yes, his father, the former NBA player and current Indiana Pacers analyst, Eddie Gill as well. Father has a fantastic bow tie game, absolutely spectacular. 36-33, the GC lead. After not trailing until the last 2 minutes, nice screen and roll. Niehaus, reverse layup as he snuck away from Davidson. 5 in the first half for Niehaus, and that draws Taylor back to within 1, trailing 36-35. Gill back to the baseline, swept out of bounds by Jackson Lewis. 24 seconds between game and shot clock. Lewis out, Kinsey in for Taylor. C. Gibbs in here for Wadding, who's been 3 of 5 from the floor today. And Carter Stoltzfus comes in for Jay Gibbs. I thought we were going to get both Gibbses out there. Instead, it's just C. Gibbs. Baseline lob, volleyball line Davidson, near side Stoltzfus. About 24 seconds between game and shot clock as Jason Number barks out instructions. They lob it into Malone, who snuck away with Hahn fronting, and Malone laid it in easy. 5 for the big fella, back to a 3-point. Grace lead. Hahn fakes a 3. Malone pulls up, right elbow jump shot, back of the rim long. Niehaus with the offensive board, trying to find an edge on Davidson. Blocked from behind on Malone, but a foul will be called as Malone claps his hands in frustration. And now Taylor's students wanting a technical foul called against Elijah Malone, but they're probably just giving him a nice ribbing, being the visiting player. First on 50 in red, who head coach Scott Moore says has the potential to be the best post player in the NAIA. 14 points, 8 rebounds a game, and a 54% three-point shooter is Malone out of LaGrange, Indiana. How? First free throw good for Niehaus. He's got 1 more to come. Davidson checks out with Ian Scott returning to the Grace lineup. This to draw Taylor 2 within 1. Niehaus had a good first half. 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting, including a 3-point make. Gets the bounce here as he leaves it short. 7 for Niehaus. He averages just 4 per game, and Taylor back to within 1. Shot clock turned off, so Grace can hold for the final shot. Scott, Stoltzfus, Gill, Malone, and C. Gibbs are the 5. Taylor's led for 90% of this first half. Good push from GC here late to take a 1-point lead. They led by as many as 3. Kinsey guards Gill. Around the Malone screen, goes right down the lane, nobody home, and Gill lays it in easy with 6 left to go in the half. Taylor down by 3. Kinsey from midcourt lets her fly, almost put it in as that one just missed the back of the rim. I'm sure sweating broke out for the Grace fans, remembering the 75-footer game winner from Mason Degenkolb in the league tournament a couple of years ago. After Taylor led for the majority of the first half, they trailed by 3 at the break, 40-37 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH, from our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH, from our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Back inside Odell Arena, Rick Johnston with you. Taylor led for the majority of that opening half, but after Jason Hubbard was called for his second foul of the first half with 3:25 to go before half, the game was a 33-28 Taylor lead. The Lancers would close on a 12-4 spurt to take their first lead of the day. They lead by 3 here at the break, 40-27. Both teams shot the ball really, really strong in the first half. Grace at 55%. They were just 1 of 6 from 3, so they shot 63% inside the arc. They were 3 of 6 from the line. Taylor 48% from the floor, 6 of 10 from 3, and 3 of 3 from the stripe. The problem for the Trojans is that Jason Hubbard scored 20 of their 37 first half points, picked up that second foul, and had to watch the final 5 minutes and change, or so 3 minutes and change from the bench. 7 for Grant Niehaus off the Taylor bench, 5 for Furman in a reserve role, and 5 for Gavin Yoon. Luke Huffer, Jackson Lewis, Jeff Clayton, JaVale Redwood, Jacob Kinsey, Grant Jones, and Aaron Hahn all played but did not score for Taylor in the opening 20 minutes. On the other side for Grace, they were led by Frankie Davidson and Cade Gibbs, who had 8 points. Davidson a starter, C. Gibbs off the bench. 6 for Ian Scott in a reserve role, and 6 for Jake Wadding as a starter. 2 for Stoltzfus, 1 for Jay Gibbs, and 5 for Elijah Malone, playing but not scoring in the first half for Grace, and 4 for Eddie Gill IV, who's finally healthy for the Lancers, and his defensive impact has been a big stamp on the opening 20 minutes. Bryson Graber played but did not score in the first half. We also mentioned Scott's 6 points. Edge, big edge in points in the paint for GC, 28-8. Taylor turned it over 4 times in that first half, but it led to 6 Grace points. Grace turned it over just 3 times, and Taylor scored 0 points off of the turnover. So starting 5 back on the floor for Taylor: Jason Hubbard, Gavin Yoon, Aaron Hahn, Jackson Lewis, and Jeff Clayton. Grace will counter with their starting 5: Jacob Gibbs, Eddie Gill, Jake Wadding, Frankie Davidson, and Elijah Malone. Davidson and Hubbard, the 2 top players of the respective sides, are also 2 of the 5 or 6 guys on the short list for Crossroads League Player of the Year. Grace goes right into Malone, backs in. Clayton misses the bunny layup, but it's tapped back out for an offensive rebound for Wadding. The 9th offensive board for Grace here in the game as we just started the second half. Falling down, Clayton, charge Malone. As Clayton with an ear-to-ear grin as he pulled the chair back out on the 6'9 Malone. Malone banged once, and then that was when Clayton pulled the chair out, and both went falling down to the parquet. Second on Malone. He and Gibbs, Jay Gibbs, the only 2 with more than 1 foul for Grace. And one of our officials instructing something to the scores table, something about the shot clock. Not exactly sure what it was. It's at 30. 7 seconds of the game clock ran off, so now it's back to 19:39. Taylor from right to left in white. They scored 37 first half points. They averaged just 30 on the year. We do not have the numbers for Grace in the half. Thanks, Presto. Far sideline, Gavin Yoon. Gill guarding him. Gill has been a defensive stalwart all day. Hahn was scoreless in the first half, trying to take Davidson the rack. He gave him an opening. Right block dump off Clayton. Pass was intercepted by Wadding, and then they work it up from Gill back to Wadding for a right-hand layup, as unable to challenge it was Jason Hubbard. 8 for Wadding, third Grace player with 8 points. Then the Trojans almost throw the ball away in the backcourt as Taylor trails by 5, their biggest deficit of the day. 1 minute in here to the second half. Inside the arc, right side, Clayton poked from behind by Davidson. Malone dives on the floor. Clayton keeps a dribble alive, finds an open Hahn in the left corner for a 3. It's missed off the near side. Clayton tried to knife his way in, couldn't get it, as Hahn, the Trojans' third leading scorer, 0 of 5 from the floor. Gill skips far side. The lefty Jay Gibbs pulls from 3. No good, as Hahn makes the rebound over his head. Hubbard near side. Davidson slides out. Stutter step and go. Trying to go up and under was Hubbard. Low pass Hahn, able to gather it back in. Lewis, and now far sideline Yoon. Clayton, high right side, a little dump off to Lewis. Head start. Jay Gibbs cuts him off on the baseline right. Trying to get there. Throws that head in the air. Hahn will save it over his head. Intercepted by Gill. 2-on-1 with Wadding. Hubbard back, lobbing up to Gill. Misses the dunk. And here comes Hubbard the other way, as that one would have brought Grace out of their seats. Hahn tries again from the left corner. No good. Didn't come through on the follow through. Clayton with the rebound. 2-point shot. Halfway down and no. Clayton powers up for the offensive rebound. He can't get it in, as there's a lid on the rim over to our left. Nothing the Trojans throwing up here in the second half has found the bottom of the net as they trail by 5, 42-37. Hahn exits as Furman quickly comes back in. Furman in a reserve role today. First time he has played in the game and not started. He missed the game at Marion a couple weeks ago. Chan is defense from the Taylor students down to our right, who have filled the stands in Odell Arena today. 5-point Grace lead just underway here in the second half. Davidson guarded by Hubbard. Far sideline Wadding. Open 3, and he switched it right in front of his own bench. 11 for Jake Wadding. He's got all 5 of the second half points so far for Grace. They open up an 8-point lead for the 35% three-point shooter Wadding. Taylor does not have the same energy we saw them come out of the locker room with when Hubbard put on a scoring clinic to the tune of 20 first half points. He's got it, fades away from 8, halfway down and no. Good box out by Malone, and it's scooped off the floor by Jay Gibbs for Grace. They scored the first 5 of the second half as Davidson sneaks away from the fronting Furman and lays it in easy with the right hand. And now it's Grace with every offensive flow to start. 10 for Frankie Davidson, first non-Wadding score, and Taylor will be forced to take a timeout. A 7-0 run to start the second half here for Grace. They have their first double-figure lead of the afternoon, 47-37. 30-second timeout, Taylor on the Trojan Sports Network.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Three minutes and 2 seconds into this second half, it is all Grace. They have scored the first 7 points out of the locker room, and they have a 10-point lead. First 10-point lead for Grace here this afternoon. Taylor, an 0 for 5 start offensively out of the locker room. Far side hash mark Lewis. Inside the arc, right side Yoon. Fade away long 2, halfway down and out. Second time that's happened for Taylor today. 0 of 6 second half start. Euro step, Gill trailing from behind, lays it in as Hubbard tried to block it. 6 for Gill, third different second half score for Grace. Furman, left corner 3-ball. Nope, back of the rim. 2 guys there, they take it away from Clayton. Malone has the miss, and it's an 0 for 7 shooting start for the second half as things go from bad to worse for Taylor here in half 2. Down by 12, Wadding whips it outside to Gill, bouncing into Malone, baseline left with an arm bar against Clayton. 15 to shoot, Malone slowly backs in. Hubbard comes in trying to tie him up, and they'll get Hubbard for the reach in, and that's his third, with 16:10 left to go in the second half. Hubbard trying to help down on the big man Malone as Hahn will re-enter replacing Clayton. Hubbard has scored 20 of Taylor's first 37 points. Taylor 0 for 7 here to start the second half off, and they trail by a game-high 12. Davidson on his tiptoes gives it off to Gill. Tight quarters pass high in the air, bounced away from Malone and stolen by the Trojans. Far sideline, Hubbard up to Furman. Right side corner three. This time goes for Furman's second three ball. So it was a 9-0 start for GC. Taylor gets the three-pointer to drop. They trail by 12. Or they trail by 10, or by 9, excuse me, I apologize. They had trailed by 12. Gill, right corner baseline. Wadding with Furman guarding him in the Taylor man-to-man outside the arc. Gill crossing over, Lewis giving him space. Into Malone, bodies with Hahn, who had him wrapped up from behind. And that's number 2 on Hahn. The Trojans put JaVale Redwood in the first half to go size for size. Lewis and Yoon, the starting backcourt, out. Nope, Yoon will stay. Hubbard's got to exit with those 3 personal fouls. 15-32. And a media timeout to boot as Hubbard exits. 15:32 to go, second half. It is a 49-40 Grace lead here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Taylor's been outscored 9-3 here in the second half. They've made just one field goal, and they've started 1 for 8. Jay Gibbs, along with Gill, who'll get it in. Malone, Wadding, and Davidson, the starting 5 still out there for Grace. 2 subs, as we mentioned, Niehaus and Kinsey in for Taylor. Davidson slices through 3 Taylor defenders and lays it in without Jason Hubbard to worry about. Davidson's trying to put his imprint on this one. Back to a double-figure Grace lead at 51-40. They've outscored Taylor 23-7 since Hubbard picked up that second foul with 3:25 to go in the first half. Kinsey around the Niehaus screen. He had 7 in the first half. Furman had it poked away from Gill, who gets it back at the volleyball line. Near side to Yoon as Jay Gibbs will trail him. Yoon turns the corner, bangs. Gibbs was all on him. And a hand check foul on Jay Gibbs. That's number 3 on him. First Lancer to get to 3 personal fouls. Carter Stoltzfus will come in to get him. 6-foot freshman from Middlebury, Indiana. He'll actually wait to come in. Couldn't get to the scores table in time. Furman, Wadding poked at it, turnaround, fadeaway, back rim, no. And the dismal shooting star can look out end of the bench as Malone almost fell in to Casey Hackman and JaVale Redwood. That could have been detrimental to the future health of Hackman and Redwood. Malone steps into a 3 straight line short. Wadding out jumps everyone and gets it back into Malone. Barrels into Niehaus, who knocked it away free. And they're going to call a block on Niehaus. And now Odell Arena is going to lose their mind. Niehaus can't believe it. The Taylor faithful can't believe it. Head coach Josh Andrews can't believe it. The only reasoning is if Niehaus's heels were inside the restricted area, but nobody has said that yet. Niehaus knocked it clean right when contact was made. And they're going to call a shooting foul too? Phew. Okay. Malone, a good free throw shooter at 71%. He's 1 for 2 today. And now 2 for 3 as he swishes the first. 6 for him as Bailey Hester comes in for the Trojans, replacing Yoon, one of the 4 seniors honored before the game today. 12-point Grace lead. A free throw here from Malone would give them their biggest lead of the afternoon on a perplexing call against Niehaus. Malone will make them both. 7 for him. and he will check out, and C. Gibbs will come in for GC. So it's Cade Gibbs along with Stoltzfus, Wadding, Frankie Davidson, and Gill. 13-point lead for GC, as they've now outscored Taylor 25-7 since that second foul on Hubbard was called late in the first half. Niehaus handoff, open space, reverse layup, good for two. Second field goal for the Trojans in the second half, and Niehaus trying to pick up the slack with no Hubbard. He's got 9 off the Taylor bench. It's an 11-point Grace lead with still plenty of time left, just 6 minutes expired. C. Gibbs, far sideline, guarded by Furman. Grace shoots on the basket to our right, clad in red. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Wadding had a 3 already in the half. Into Gill, overpowers Kinsey. That one was way too easy for Eddie Gill, the fourth. 8 for him, 4 here in the second half. And every time Taylor gets a little bit of momentum into this cold shooting start, they're back down by 13. Back to Kinsey. Davidson guards him, the former UND Greyhound. Catch and shoot 3, thought about it Furman, and then Kill got to Hansey. Got called for the reach in the first on him. Gill has been a fantastic addition back to the Grace lineup this year. Missed the better portion of the last 2 years due to injuries. 2 years ago, played just 6 games. And at 6'1", a physical specimen at 6'1", and an athletic, fleet-of-foot young guard, he is making life difficult for Furman today. Rising for a 3. Furman hit it, and then Gill ran into his leg. So Furman does not want any more accolades. Dropped on Gill as he cans a 3, and an opportunity for a 4-point play. Lauren James had a 4-point play in the women's game. That's the second foul on Gill, their best on-ball defender. In a matter of seconds, Furman rattles that one in. 12 for him, 7 in the half, and that provides some much-needed juice. Back to Odell Arena. Full court pressure as Hester will pick him up full court. C. Gibbs racing front court, 3-on-2, 4-on-2. Davidson, they stepped out of bounds, what the Taylor students say, and Davidson hits a right perimeter free throw line. Flop warning here against the Trojans, against Aaron Hahn. Davidson took a big step out on the near side arc, and the Taylor students down to our right screaming that he stepped out of play. It falls on deaf ears. And the Trojans back down by 12. Still no Jason Hubbard. Got that third personal about 3 minutes ago. And just like they did in the first half when he picked up his second, Grace has hit the accelerator. As Hubbard, a frustrated man sitting on the bench. Furman trying to pick up the slack, turns, scoops. His shot was blocked from behind by Scott. Stoltzfus lost it as Furman slow to get back up. Far sideline to Bryson Graber, making his first second half appearance. Stoltzfus up top. A good 3-point shooter gives it away. Davidson, the lone starter on the floor out there with 3 freshmen and C. Gibbs. Scott, free throw line, trying to get it to Davidson with the smaller Kinsey guarding. Niehaus comes a double, spinning underneath the paint. Gibbs slices in, knocked away by Hahn, and there's another foul that will draw boos from every fan in purple and gold in the arena. Hahn looked to go straight up into the air. Gibbs ran into him, got the ball knocked free, and that's the 3rd on Hahn, and the 4th on Taylor in the half. And the Taylor fans that have packed in today are absolutely beside themselves. And that one missed badly from Gibbs off the back of the rim, and now he's going to get an earful from the Taylor students. Furman out, Hubbard in. Taylor's been outscored 17-9 here in the second quarter. They trailed by 3 at the break. They're down by 11 here, trailing by as many as 13 here in the second half. Cade Gibbs, the worst of the 2 free throw shooting Gibbs brothers at 68%. He's now 50% today. He's got 9. That's his first point of the second half. So Hubbard back in, the Trojans leading scorer with 20 points, but playing with 3 personal fouls. And he is 0 for 1 here in the second half. And then Davidson will shove Niehaus out of bounds, both going for the pass. First on Davidson. And that draws the Bronx cheer from the Taylor faithful inside the Don. 5th one on Grace. 12:38 to go second half. This thing is grinded to a stop with all the fouls called here in half 2. Scott, freshman against the 4th-year man Hubbard. Trying to find a first, second half scoring. Passes up a 3, almost passed out of bounds. Kinsey came to get it. 9 to shoot as Hubbard looks at the clock to our right, rising for a 3. In! 4th made 3 of the afternoon for Hubbard. That ties a career high in made 3s for the Player of the Year candidate. Taylor back to within 9, down 58-49 with 12 to go in the second half. Davidson around the screen, spins in, throws it off the glass and scooped it in as he thought about going up and catching off the glass to dunk it. threw it in off the glass and then laid it in as it banked it home on a righty scoop. 16 for Davidson, 8 in the second half, and it's back to a double-figure Grace lead. 11:50 to go. Kinsey near side, guarded by his freshman counterpart Graber. Kinsey for a three, got hit on the arm, and there's no foul as he missed it long. Up the floor comes Grace. C. Gibbs, perimeter left, trying to back down the smaller Hahn. Davidson trails, bad pass, kicks it near side Graber. Fancy crossover dribble, couldn't find an open space of the parquet floor. Hahn will be called for a bad foul as he had his back to the man, slapped his hand in there and gets called for foul number 4. So Taylor making uncharacteristic mistakes here in the second half as Hahn will exit. Or Hahn will not exit. Just the 5th foul against Taylor in the half. Here comes Grant Jones in for TU. Clayton's got 2 fouls. Hahn, Hester, Kinsey exit. Lewis, Yoon, and now Jones in for TU. 20 to the shot clock. Graber trying to get in, lobs it into space. C. Gibbs, not the intended man, goes in. Good job by Niehaus. Backdoor cut. Scott missed the reverse layup. Got his own miss. And then he's fouled inside by either Niehaus or Jones. That's going to be foul number 11. We haven't even played 11 minutes of the second half. This is a foul fest here after halftime. And the pace of this game, which was beautiful and flowing in the first half, has grinded into something gross with 11:27 left to go in regulation time. C. Gibbs got away, righty layup as he was able to bully ball against Niehaus. 11 for Gibbs, 3rd. Lancer in double figures, he comes off the bench, and it's back to a 13-point Taylor hole. They've been outscored 22-12 here in the half. 11:10 left to go. Handoff far sideline Lewis. Jones between the circles, 2 dribbles, hands off to Hubbard. Foul trouble's been the name of the game for him after that 20-point start to the first half. Mid-post right, Niehaus against Davidson, 5 to shoot. Handoff Hubbard, trying to find a sliver of space. He's caught in a triple team. He doesn't care, he misses it. Got it back, goes up through contact, and 1 to Davidson, and he screams at him, and then smiles from ear to ear. Davidson perplexed, and now Hubbard trying to get one back on Davidson, who still shakes his head in disbelief as he just looks at Jason Hubbard in wonderment and unbelievement. Jason Hubbard, 25 for him, is a dude for the and 1. Yep. Career high in made threes at 4. Tied it. Taylor back to within 10. Now they got to get some stops as now Hubbard starting to find his rhythm. Stoltzfus picks with the bounce high left side between the circles to Scott, then back out near the center jump circle. C. Gibbs in his 3rd season at Grace, 2nd playing, with 3 freshmen. Backdoor cut, Davidson goes up, and he'll dunk it with 2 hands, and he snuck away on the baseline from Hubbard. 18 for Frankie Davidson, and an emphatic slam as that gets the Grace bench to their feet. 12-point Grace advantage at 64-52. As the 2 Player of the Year candidates trading blows here today. It's Davidson's team with the edge right now of 12 as we at the halfway point of half 2. Yoon try to flare screen near side, far side Lewis. Coming out to defend him, C. Gibbs, crossover Lewis under the paint. Near side, Niehaus, long 2, off the near side of the rim. C. Gibbs goes up and over Jones for the miss, and now it's a 3-on-3. C. Gibbs whips it back far side, ill-advised pass, and Jason Hubbard with his 7-foot wingspan says thank you very much. Stoltzfus tries to draw the charge. It'll be a block. Smart move by Stoltzfus, knowing that would have been Hubbard's 4th as he kicked it into high gear. Good idea there from Stoltzfus. He was backpedaling, and that's the 7th one on Grace, and now Taylor in the bonus with 9:54 left to go in regulation time. Taylor a perfect 5 of 5 from the stripe today. Grace is 6 of 10. Taylor has outscored Grace by 21 points from beyond the arc, 9 made threes to just 2. But Grace has made 9 more field goals than Taylor overall. Down by 12 here. First of a 1-and-1 for Hubbard. Swish. 27 for Jason. And again, fouls have been the name of the game for him. Picked up 2 in the first half. With 3:25 left, Taylor led by 8. Grace closed on a 12-4 run. They've been in control ever since. But Grace will make them, or Hubbard will make them both. He's got a game-high 28. Trying to do everything he can to will Taylor back into this one. 9:50 left, and the Trojans down by 10. Grace to the rock from left to right as Wadding has come back in. C. Gibbs, Scott, Graber, and Stoltzfus as Davidson gets a breather. Stoltzfus the lefty around a screen, left side high, this is Graber. 12 to shoot, Yoon defends, Taylor man-to-man. Handoff C. Gibbs, got sloppy with the dribble, got it back, inside on Yoon, turnaround shot will spin off the rim. Hubbard will rip it away from Gibbs for his 5th board. 9:25 to go first half, Taylor trying to cut in to the 10-point hole. Hubbard draws two guys, turns the corner, goes up. Wadding's there, reverse layup. Jason Hubbard is the man on a mission. 30 for Hubbard, his third 30-point scoring game in the last 2 weeks. Back down by 8. Wadding down the lane. Yoon defends. Knocked out of his hand. Stolen by Furman. 3-on-2. Furman up the middle. Pass was deflected by Stoltzfus as he tried to whip it near side to the open Lewis. Could have been another momentum-changing play for Taylor as they trail by 8. Gibbs thinks about it, goes into Clayton, missed it badly as he lost on the way up. Looks exasperated for a foul, and now the officials are swallowing their whistles like candy after dishing out fouls like candy on Halloween earlier in the half. For the career-high 5th made three was blocked on the way up. Clayton, though, gets the miss on the Hubbard attempt. Into the paint, ball knocked away. Hubbard gets it back in one motion. He laid it in after the ball pinballed around. Jason Hubbard is not human. 32 for Hubbard, and the Trojans back to within 6.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jason Hubbard Show. 32 for Hubbard, 12 in the second half. Oh no, by the way, he's doing it with 3 fouls. And Taylor with the defensive play out of the timeouts. They trail by 6, closest they've been in some time, after trailing by 13 with 8:25 left to go in the second half. Graber brings it up the floor. Davidson and Gill ready to come in for Grace of the next dead ball. Malone checked in during the timeout. Set to screen, Lewis fights over on Graber. Taller player Graber bangs into Lewis and gets it for 2. First bucket for Bryson Graber, one of the top assist man in the history of Indiana high school basketball. Pushes that Grace lead back to 8 with 8:02 remaining in the second half, with Gill and Davidson ready to come back in for GC. Inside the right side arc, Clayton. Malone guarding him, hands on his waist, hand off to Hubbard. Wadding guards him. Couldn't stop Hubbard in the first half, did Wadding, now 10 to shoot. Clayton, right side arc, hands off to Hubbard with 7. Long 3. 5th one will not go. Clayton couldn't get it. It's rebounded by C. Gibbs, and here comes Grace the other way. 3-on-2, Wadding into Hubbard. His shot is recycled by Jason Hubbard, who continues to play beautifully with the 3 personal fouls, as now Furman is hot. Trying to get an explanation from our official as Jeff Clayton tries to calm him down, his Taylor teammate. Niehaus in to get Furman. Stoltzfus and C. Gibbs out for Grace. Gill and Davidson, their best player, back in. Graber, Gill to Davidson, mismatch against the smaller Niehaus, trying to body him up. Lewis coming to help, spinning in the paint. Davidson lays it in with a right-hand finger roll as the Trojans cannot put Hubbard on him, playing with the 3 personal fouls. Back to a 10-point Grace lead, 4-0 spurt out of the timeout. Right corner Lewis. Davidson guards him with that long and lengthy wingspan. Wadding will guard Hubbard, who bounces off the Niehaus. Graber guards him. Right side Yoon, rising for 3 over Gill. Oh, he almost got it again, and for the second time today, Eddie Gill IV has fouled a Taylor 3-point shooter. The first time it was on a make from Furman that turned into a 4-point play. This one will be 3 free throws for Yoon, as Gill rubbed his hands through his hair in frustration. Fantastic hair from Eddie Gill. 3 free throws for Yoon, the 61% free throw shooter. The lefty makes the first one. That's his first points here of the second half. A fantastic story for Gill. Big fish, big fisherman, big outdoorsman, loves to fish. It's a great story on one of the newspapers up either in Indianapolis or up there in Winona Lake. Talks about his fundraiser he did as Yoon makes all 3 free throws to bring Taylor to within 7. Great story on Gill raising funds through his passion of fishing. Fantastic job by Gill this summer. Grace breaks the press. Wadding, near side Davidson. Hubbard guards him in the air, finds the open man. Graber passes up 2 open looks at 3. Now they give it off to Wadding near side. Around the Malone screen, Graber high left side with now 10 to shoot. Davidson screen for Graber to take the screen, he does. Niehaus fights through, baseline left, turnaround, fadeaway shot is switched from 8 feet. Beautiful looking shot for Bryson Graber after he got an earful from his teammate Frankie Davidson for not taking his screen. Back to a 9-point Grace advantage with 6:30 remaining in the second half. Wadding v. Hubbard, this has been the matchup all day. Hubbard's had the issue. Kinsey drives, block left, cut off, top of the key, Clayton. Malone was there to help, knowing Clayton's not a 3-point shooter, even though he has made one this season. Niehaus floats near corner to his classmate Yoon, gets those puppies set, misses the 3, and Davidson has the rebound down low. Taylor just 9 of 21 from 3. Grace 2 of 9, but they have dominated things inside the paint today making 29 field goals in 2-point distance. Graber, 4 in a row for him. Spinning on Kinsey, righty scoop, no good, and Clayton will clean the glass for Taylor. Jeff's 7th rebound of the afternoon. He leads Taylor in that category, 1 off the game-high lead of Cade Gibbs of Grace. Inside the arc, near side, Hubbard turns the corner, off to the right block. Jeff Clayton through the air. He was fouled, and there's no call as Wadding will get the miss again. Clayton went up for a dunk. He was challenged by Wadding. It looked like he got him on the forearm or went elbow to elbow. And now a timeout is called far side by third-year head coach Scott Moore. There'll be a 30-second timeout for Grace. It's their first timeout of the day. They have a 9-point lead at 70-61 with 5:31 left to go in this one.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Trojans trying to find some help out for Jason Hubbard. 32 for him. That ties a season high. His career high is 35. He's made a career high tying 4 threes today. But the next closest scoring man is Furman with 12. Niehaus has got 9. Yoon has got 8. The Trojans have only had 4 guys score all day. Everyone that's played today for Grace has scored. They're led by the 20 from Frankie Davidson, who holds here on the perimeter right, guarded by Hubbard. 13 to shoot. Grace with the ball, leading by 9 as they shoot on the basket to our right in red. Davidson with 7 to shoot. Off-ball foul on Jeff Clayton. That ball was 20 feet away from the basket. Taylor assistant coach Aaron Larson stands up, wonders what's going on. This is the most agitated I've seen the Taylor coaching staff in my now 9 years working here. 1-1 for Malone. Third one on Clayton. Malone 2 for 4 today. That one barely got to the front rim, but nobody got the offensive rebound. And the big fella Malone, he'll just abuse Niehaus to the rim. But then Niehaus says, I'll take this away. Then Malone tackles Clayton. Clayton pumped as that's the third one on Malone. And after getting a little bit of rhythm back to this game, now we've gotten to the clunkiness that has been the majority of half number 2. 16 fouls called in this second half so far, of having just 12 in the first half. So a 1-1 here for Jeff Clayton, who shooting just 42% from the line today. The Trojans need these points, as Jeff can be the 5th different Taylor scored today. Hubbard leading the way with 32, but he has not gotten a lot of help today. First one from Jeff. Rattles that one in. Ian Scott to replace Malone. Malone will exit with the 3 personal fouls, 7 points and 8 rebounds on just 2 of 6 shooting for the biggest dude in the gym. Just to make it a 7-point Taylor hole. And Jeff got them both, and you heard him yell, yep, right when it left his hand. So Clayton out, big ovation for Jeff, who's got 2 points, 2 assists, and 7 boards. And Taylor down by 7, 70-63 with 5:14 left to go second half. Yoon picks up Graber full court. Half-court trap, a little bounce off to Gill. High left side for GC. The Lancers trying to pick up their 21st win of the year. Started the year 13-0. They've gone 7-7 since. Davidson around a screen. Hubbard wouldn't bind on the pump fake. Right block, Gill against the smaller Yoon. Baseline drive, spin, trying to go up and under. Kinsey came in, knocked it free, and they'll get Kinsey for the reach-in as he was right there, put those hands in there. That's the first on Kinsey and the 8th on Taylor. We now have 17 fouls called in the second half. That's more fouls called than minutes played in the second half. So a 1-and-1 for Gill. Just 47% from the line. This one high in the air, and it will slice right through. Not the prettiest looking shot, but they don't tell you how pretty it looked when it goes through the net. 9 for Gill, 5 here in the second half. He averages just 6 per game. Second one slices on through. 2 for 2 is Gill. 6 here in the second half. He's been a nice spark to keep the Grace lead near double digits. It's knocking on the door of that now with 9. Hubbard, Niehaus, Hahn, Yoon, Kinsey. Far sideline, Yoon contested 3 over Scott. Bang, Yoon. Third triple a day for Gavin Yoon. He's in double figures with 11, and the Trojans right back into it, down by 6. Timeout, Trojans, 4:34 to go second half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Taylor keeps knocking on the door here. They're trailed by as many as 13 here in the second half. They trail by 6 here after the Yoon triple, his second of the day. He's got 11 points. One off of Furman and a bunch behind Hubbard's game-high 32. Graber to the front court for Grace. They're in red. Faking the screen is Wadding. Screen and roll. Pass was too hot for Davidson. It went off of Wadding's fingertips. It was a beautiful read from Davidson, but that righty whip went blistering out of play as Grace turns it over for the 8th time today. Just the fifth time here in the second half. Two teams have kept the turnovers below 10. Yoon, right side, thought about a step back 3 over Jay Gibbs, who came in during the timeout. Taylor down by 6. Hubbard to the top. Wadding there. Double team there. Wadding tried to get the foul. He went sliding all the way 10 feet, like a slip and slide on his backside. 34 for Hubbard and a flop warning for Wadding. It worked in the first half. It ain't going to work here in the second. 4:10 to go second half. Taylor down by 4, trying to knock off the 4th place team in the Crossroads League. Graber at the volleyball line. Davidson there will set a right side screen. Kinsey defends, and the ball is spun to the far corner and Wadding. Hubbard marking Davidson's every move. Less than 4 to go. Beautiful spin baseline. Wadding bumped in the air, misses the shot. Weak side rebound is Hahn, and the Trojans have an opportunity to cut into the 4-point hole. A physical play that was called a foul earlier in the contest. The whistle swallowed here. Yoon behind the back bounce. Near side Hahn fakes the 3, pulls up from 15 feet off the near side rim. No. Good hustle by the Trojans. They couldn't get the loose ball after Niehaus slapped the rebound off the glass. So a 4-point Grace lead as the Lancers holding on for dear might here with 3:24 to go in regulation. Jay Gibbs will bounce off to Davidson. Top of the key, Graber wants to spin it near side, goes back far side of the floor. Davidson diving around was Yoon as he went through Jay Gibbs. Second on Yoon, 9th on the Trojans, each team with 9 fouls to their name, a 1-and-1 coming for the better of the free throw shooting Gibbs twins. Jay Gibbs, 11 points on the season. He's got just one here today. He's only taken 2 shots. He's a dynamic three-point shooter at 43%. He's missed his only three-point try today. He's 1 of 2 from the stripe, and the lefty will knock down the first of now 2. His twin brother Cade has picked up the slack. 11 points for Cade off the bench. They've almost flipped bodies. Cade averages just 6 per game. This to make it a full 2-possession lead at 6. Front rim, nope. Hubbard gets rebound number 6 to go with his game-high 34 points, 20 in the first half, and Taylor down by 5. The Trojans have made 10 threes today, 2 off what they made Wednesday at Grace. Hubbard trying to turn the corner, dribbles it off of Wadding. Wadding saying it went off of Hubbard's sneaker. 16 to shoot, 3 minutes left to go in an Odell Arena crowd that continues to climb by the minute. Kinsey, baseline right, Hubbard flipping it back outside to Kinsey. Taylor down by 5, 73-68 as they attack the basket to our left. Scott defends the senior Hahn. Free, Kinsey, 3, almost stepped out of bounds, kept that heel in the air, tried to spin away, ball knocked out by Bryson Graber, 6'3" freshman from Washington, Indiana. 1 second to shoot. The Trojans have got to get this in quick and turn and shoot. Kinsey to deal it in near baseline. Niehaus, free throw line, jump shot good for the baseline! Niehaus, 11 for the Trojans, and they're down by 3 on a must-make hoop from Niehaus. 2:35 to go, second half. The energy and the juice back inside Odell Arena. Hahn switches to Davidson, baseline left. He wants to go one-on-one with Hahn. Niehaus poking at it, Wadding, open 3, no! Ian Scott goes up and over for the rebound and lays it in. He went up and over Hubbard for the putback. 8 for Ian Scott. A huge basket for Grace as their lead goes back to 5. Time it on the floor for the Lancers with 2:20 left to go second half.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Fourteen offensive rebounds for Grace, and their 14th one might be the biggest one of the afternoon after a missed 3 by Wadding after the Trojans doubled down on Davidson with Hahn guarding him. Wadding missed the 3-point try, but Ian Scott outjumped the Trojans, got the offensive rebound and put it in for his 4th field goal of the day. He's got 8 points. And Taylor back down by 5 with 2:20 left to go in the second half. Kinsey, Hahn, Yoon, Niehaus, and Hubbard, the Taylor 5. This has been the 5 for the majority of this second half. Kinsey right sideline. They can't get it to Hubbard. Hahn straight away guarded by Scott. Lefty drive, mid-post left, spins in the paint, off-balance shot. Back of the rim, no good. Ball tapped around. Gill comes out of traffic with it as Hahn 0 for 9 from the field today. He comes in averaging 8 points per game, and the Trojans have missed his offensive output today. Niehaus has tried to pick it up with 11. Taylor needs a defensive stop here with 105 seconds remaining in regulation, trailing by 5. Davidson looks to do it himself. Takes the right side, Scott screen, Hahn switches, pick it up, down the lane goes Scott for a 2-hand flush. 4 in a row for Scott. He's got double figures at 10, 5th different Lancer to get to that mark, and it's a 7-point Grace lead with 90 seconds left. Taylor needs points, and they need him in a hurry. Wadding guarding Hubbard high left side. One off of a career high. Down the lane, scooping. There's the career high of 36 for Jason Hubbard. Lefty scoop, but now a little bit limp as he walks to the far sideline. Taylor back to within 5, a minute 19 remaining on the full timeout for Taylor.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
.119 to go second half. Taylor lines up defensively after the layup for Hubbard. Remains in there after being a little banged up. Time dwindling for Graber. Hubbard got his hand on it, almost stole it on the baseline. That 5-second count was getting smaller and smaller to Graber, as now he angrily points out at Frankie Davidson, as Davidson's been getting in the ear of a couple of his teammates here this afternoon. Jackson Lewis back in there for the Trojans as Taylor applies the full court press. 15 to shoot in the backcourt. That seems, oh yeah, up to 29. That was way off. Graber, Jay Gibbs, Stoltzfus, Davidson, Scott, the 5 for GC. Stoltzfus backcourt as Graber couldn't move. Taylor trying to pin away. Stoltzfus spun away from Lewis in the backcourt. Wheels to the front court. Half-court trap. They give it off to Graber at the top. Fakes. He's got a couple guys open out to the sideline and Jay Gibbs. 1:05 left to go second half. 5-point Grace lead. They've led by as many as 13 here in the second half. Now we dip below a minute. Time, the friend of Grace. They had Davidson backdoor, couldn't get it to him. Against a smaller Niehaus with 3, rising from 15 feet, no way. Rebounded by Hahn on the near side. Now with 47 seconds left, Taylor down by 5. Humongous possession here for those wearing white because they trail by 5. 40 to go. Right elbow, Hubbard looks at the clock. Scott defends, Hubbard right to the rack. Blocked, it's a foul on Scott. Second on him, 10th on Grace. Taylor in the double bonus for the final 34.1. Whew. This game is everything you wanted and more today. Well, outside of the myriad of fouls we've had called, 30 by the way, in case you're keeping track of that at home. 2 for Jason, 36 for him on the day, new career high, and now 37. He had 20 in the first half. Jason has scored all 17 second half points after picking up his 3rd personal foul with 6:10 left to go in the game. The dude is just different and is in the short list for Player of the Year candidates. Second one rolls in, stays down. 38 for Hubbard. Taylor down by 3, full court pressman on. 34.1 seconds left, so 4 seconds difference. Taylor does not need to foul. Down 3. Graber trying to run away from Lewis and Hubbard to the front court, and Stoltzfus attacks, now backs it out with again 3 seconds between game and shot clock. And Yoon will foul Gibbs, and the Trojans will play the long game here. Clock stops with 21 and 8/10 of a second left. 3rd on Yoon, 10th on Taylor, so both teams in the double bonus. It would have been very easy for this Taylor team, with everything that's gone against them this season, to pack it up down by 13 when they couldn't hit a shot. They have weathered the storm, and now Jacob Gibbs gave him a gift. Missing long off the back rim, could have made it a 2-possession game. Does not. Davidson comes out, the offensive-defensive substitutions as he and Graber exit. Gill back in along with Wadding for Grace. Jay Gibbs, just 2 for 5 from the line. Odell Arena trying to get into his head. They don't. He swishes it. 3 for him, all from the line. Taylor down by 4. 20 seconds left. The Trojans have a timeout if they want it. Lewis right side, Yoon off of a screen. Catch and shoot, prayer of a 3 off the right side of the rim. Rebounded by Stoltzfus. Lewis comes in, knocks it away. The ball came loose, but Lewis had a little bit of a wind-up, came down instead of coming up. And they get Lewis for the reach-in. And free throws can end it here for Grace, leading by 4 with 10.7 seconds left. Grace, the second worst free throw shooting team in the Crossroads League, 10 of 17 today. That's number 5 on Hahn, so not on Lewis. The Trojans, the worst free throw shooting team in the league, but they're a perfect 14 of 14 today. Taylor scored 4 more points at the line than Grace. They've outscored them by 24 from beyond the arc. But points in the paint, when we get the stat sheet at the end of the game, is going to be the difference right now. Taylor got outscored by 20 in the paint in the first half. And that'll be a bigger margin to keep our eyes on when we look at the post-game stats. Grace has made 8 more field goals overall than Taylor. 4-point lead for Stoltzfus, a 77% free throw shooter. First one of 2 from the lefty is good. 3 for him. He's been held below his average today. Gibbs has been held 8 below his average. That's Jay Gibbs. C. Gibbs has scored 5 north of his average of 11, at 11. Second one from Stoltzfus, front rim short. Hubbard gets the miss, but a lane violation called against the Trojans. And so one more coming here for Carter Stoltzfus. Tough-nosed freshman guard from Middlebury, Indiana. Made 191 threes in his career at Northridge High School. And he'll make this one here. 4 for him. And Taylor down by 6 with 9 to go. Lewis to the front court, trying to go end to end. Back outside to Yoon, falls away from way downtown. It's an air ball with 2 seconds left, and that will be how this one comes to a close. The Trojans cut it to 3 at 77-74. Free throws late by the Lancers will allow them to escape with a 6-point win today after having a 13-point lead and almost giving it away. So Grace, after winning their first 13 games of the year, they now win 8 of their last 15. They move to 21-7. The Trojans fall to 9-18, 5-11 here in the Crossroads League. Grace moves to 10-6 in league action. We're back with the Ivanhoe's post-game show next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Back inside Odell Arena, Rick Johnson, the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews. You guys come out blazing out of the gates in the first half, had a lead for the majority of it, going to the break down by 3, and then the offense just didn't seem to click there at the beginning of the second half. What led to those struggles early on in half 2? Anything that kind of stands out? Maybe I know you got to go back and look at the film to get specifics. But.
Yeah, we've just done that this year. We've just had some breaks in the action. If we get 40 minutes of it, you're right there. And just had a break there, a little bit of a lull. Actually had two tough missed assignments defensively in that stretch as well. So you're not scoring, you're on your heels, they're coming after us. They play with great pace. And then we had 2 breakdowns defensively at that time, so it created the margin. And now you're fighting the rest of the game. They're a really good team. They know how to win, so you got to clean that up. We'll still keep striving for that. If we come out and have the same start to the second half that we did to the first half, we might be celebrating.
They scored almost 2/3 of their points in the paint, 52 of their 80. And you'd say that and you think, Elijah Malone must have gone off. But he had just 7 points today. It was a lot more of driving from the wings from guys like Davidson and Wadding, correct?
Yeah, they got some points in the paint. They got the second chance points. They went and got the thing again, which was tough. They're long.
Yeah.
We didn't block out and clean the glass the level that we needed to. Our guys know that. They were frustrated. And you got to do it. You got to get them off the glass. You got to hit bodies. It's the only way when you got a team that's longer and more athletic at several spots. We were helping off on specific guys to try to discourage post entries and play in the paint, and that created some attacks that we didn't recover as well off of. So you got to credit them for countering how we're defending them. They had a good game plan, and they made the right adjustments to win the game.
Got down by a game-high 13, 59-46. Still not even to the halfway point of the second half. What led to the comeback? As you guys got it down to 3 late, you got it down to 6, and the place was just going. insane.
Yeah, awesome crowd. So happy that our seniors got to experience a crowd like that and have the energy in the gym, and they're devastated. They wanted to get a home win on senior day because they care, and I'm proud of the group. They keep coming back for more. They keep working at it. Not getting the results that we want, but it's growing who we are. The last 10 minutes or so, I just thought we were tough and resilient. We made a handful of defensive adjustments that I think stymied a little bit of that, what they were getting done. We forced some tough contests from maybe mid-range or high post and got some rebounds, and then we scored the ball on the other end. You know, Gavin made a couple big ones. We had several big plays for scores, and obviously Jason was just at another level.
I thought he ran out of levels. He finds more level. I mean, so here's what this guy's done. He scored at least 20 points in now 12 of the last 14 games. The lowest of that stretch was the 16 that he had against Spring Arbor. He comes out and gets a career-high 38. It's one off the most points you've ever had a player score in your time here. I mean, he had 20 in the first half, and it was like an easy 20.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's super confident, and I know he wants to win. So we're battling and doing all the things we can do. I'd love to secure the win so he could experience that and see that outcome. But he did. He's working at it. He's been a great leader, and I'm happy for his individual success. If we can just make that move as a team, we just got a little bit more to do. Still got a little bit of time to try to get there.
He's moved up 3 more spots. He's now 12th on the all-time scoring charts. He's moved up 30 spots since the beginning of the season. He got 11 points from Grant Niehaus off the bench tonight. He was 4 of 6, played 20 minutes, was there in closing time. He only averages about 4 or 5 a game, and he got that first 3 to go in the first half, and it seemed to kind of open the floodgates for him a little bit.
Yeah, he played a ton of confidence. At times I think he's a really good big game player, big environment, and does a lot of good things. So he's happy for him. We need more of it. We need more consistency in what we're getting out of our guys to get over the hump. Playing a great team today. A little bit of what it takes. Just finding some consistency in where you're going to get scores as teams try to shut our guy down or shut our guys down. Again, pretty close. I'm saying the same things. We've been close in a lot of these. Keep working at it.
What does it mean for you as the head coach in your 9th season, the way this year has gone for these guys, where it seems like every time they get past a hurdle, there's another hurdle. It seems like, we're finally going to break through, and then it doesn't.
Yep.
It could have been really easy today for them to pack it in, not getting anything to drop down by 13, and they don't blink.
Nah.
And then they put Grace on their heels and almost took one right back here.
Agreed.
To get a statement win here late in the year.
Tough guys, work hard, care about each other. They're loving on our seniors. When we came in the locker room, they all want the win for the seniors. They care about them. We just produce incredible men. Those 4 seniors, and then the 3 other guys, Dame and Ty and Kyle Yost. Those guys are just awesome dudes. They make coming to work so special, and they are those guys will all have lifelong memories and connections. So that's our guys. They care about each other. I think when they care about each other, you can stay with it when it's tough. We don't want it to. We want to win, and we want to compete for championships, and we're going to keep striving there. But the spirit is right, and it's close.
Does the resiliency come from those 4 seniors, since those 4 guys in Bailey, Aaron Hahn, Luke Huffer, and Javel, the playing standpoint, those 4 guys have gone through so much, whether it's losing 2 seasons with an injury like Bailey, having a medical scare like Javel did, being behind a bunch of guys like Luce, Hahn, like Lou did. Hahn had to transfer and sit out a whole year, then he had to wait his time, and then he finally gets to flourish this year. Is that where it's forged between those 4 guys? Because everyone else looks and goes, well, these 4 guys have gone through so much, and they're not turning away and giving up. I need to do it because they're doing it, and they try to carry it forward.
Yeah, I think it's a spirit that you foster, and those guys have helped carry that torch. They've had a really unique journey, all 4 of them, and it would take too long to go through all the things they've encountered. It's been setback and hindrances. But, our phrase this year, our mantra, we're keeping the hands on the plow. You just keep looking ahead and keep fighting. Good things happen. Doesn't always happen. Doesn't always happen when you want it, but they've modeled that, and I think that's strengthening our culture. And those are the types of guys, when they come back to alumni games and when they get around the program, when they're able to come to a camp and talk to young guys down the way, they can talk about what it means to stay with it. And we've enjoyed coming to practice. We keep getting better. We'd love to see them get the reward there. They're special young men. We got some games ahead of us, so we're going to try to make a push here.
Yep, got one more home game here Tuesday, and then you're on the road to finish out the regular season Saturday at St. Francis. Josh, thanks for the time, and I'm sure this gets annoying after a while. Kind of same song, new song, new verse.
Yep.
But appreciate you coming up and chatting about the game today.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
That's Josh Andrews, the Taylor head coach. We're back to wrap it up next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Back inside Odell Arena, final time here on the Ivanhoe's post-game shows. We'll take a look at the post-game stats here tonight. It was an 80-74 victory for the Grace Lancers. They've now won 2 of their last 4 games. They had lost 5 of their last 8, but they're now have gone 3-2 in their last 5. The Trojans now have lost 4 out of their last 5 contests. It was a hot shooting afternoon for Grace. They shot 54% from the floor. That's better than their league-leading average of 51%. They made just 2 of their 10 threes, and they struggled from the line. That's not surprising. They're the second worst free throw shooting team in the league. They went 12 of 19 from the stripe today. Taylor shot 48% from the floor in the first half, 60% from 3, going 6 of 10. But they cooled off after halftime, going just 36% in the second half and just 4 of 14 for 29% in half number 2. The Trojans finished today shooting 42% from both the field and three-point range. They did go 14 of 14 from the line this afternoon. There were 5 players in double figures for Grace. Frankie Davidson, their best player, led them with 20. He had 12 in the second half. He missed just 1 shot after halftime, going 6 of 7. In the second half, 10 of 15 overall. 10 points for Eddie Gill, averages just 6 coming in. So a good bounce for Gill to come off the bench. He struggled to shoot the ball against Goshen on Wednesday. More of a defensive stopper, but his offense was a pleasant surprise today for GC. 11 for Jake Wadding, 5 in the second half. 11 for Cade Gibbs off the bench, and 10 for Ian Scott in a reserve role today for Grace. The Trojans did a good job of limiting Jacob Gibbs' scoring today. He was held 8 points below his season average of 11. He took just 2 shots, and all of his points came from the line where he went 3 of 6. 7 points for Elijah Malone. He struggled to shoot the ball today. The top field goal shooting percentage in the Crossroads League and 5th best in the country at 70%. He was just 2 of 6 from the field today, including a missed 3-point basket. 4 points for Carter Stoltzfus off the bench, and 4 for Bryson Graber, who played a lot of minutes late for the Lancers here this afternoon. For the Trojans, they had 4 in double figures, led by the brilliant performance by the Player of the Year candidate, the surefire All-American Jason Hubbard. Had 20 points in the blink of an eye, it felt like, in the first half before he picked up his second personal foul. Jason then picked up his 3rd personal foul in the second half at the 16-10 mark. He had not scored yet. After coming back in, he continued to score 18 points to finish with a career-high 38. That's the second most points scored by a Taylor Trojan under head coach Josh Andrews, the most being Ryan Robinson's 39 blitzkrieg of Mount Vernon Nazarene when he hit 9 threes here back as a sophomore a handful of years ago. Hubbard went 14 of 20 for the game, 6 of 10 in the second half. He also tied a career high in made threes with 4. 11 for Gavin Yoon, 12 for Caden Furman coming off the bench for the first time this season, and 11 for Grant Niehaus. And a good job for Niehaus, comes in averaging just 4 per game. Niehaus went 4 of 6 from the field today, including a 3-point basket. The Trojans, after that, no one else scored anything for the Trojans outside of the 2 from Jeff Clayton from the line. No more field goals after that. Jackson Lewis was 0 for 2. Aaron Hahn, one of their Trojans' top scorers, the third on the team at 8 points per game. He was 0 for 9 this afternoon. Luke Huffer did not attempt a shot. Same thing for Bailey Hester and JaVale Redwood and Grant Jones. Kinsey went 0 for 2 today for the Trojans off of the bench. Rebounds dominant in favor of Grace, 42-25. They're second in the league in rebounding margin. They also doubled up Taylor on the offensive boards, 14-7, and that led to a 16-9 edge in second chance points. Taylor assisted on 11 of their 25 hoops, 3 leading the way for Jackson Lewis, their top assist man, 20 on 33 baskets for Grace, 5 for Eddie Gill, 4 as well, and for Frankie Davidson and Bryson Graber. Taylor had 5 steals, no one with more than 1, 3 for Grace, 2 from Eddie Gill, who's been a really, really key cog in Grace's success this season after missing the last 2 seasons with a decent amount of injuries. He is a fun guy to watch defensively, can really lock up anyone that you want. 4 blocks for Grace, 3 of them for the freshman Ian Scott, 5 for the Trojans, 3 of which by Jason Hubbard. Taylor had 7 turnovers. It led to 8 Grace points, 8 turnovers for the Lancers. Taylor scored 9 points off the turnover. We had 33 fouls called today, the majority of those coming in the second half. Big stat today, points in the paint. Grace outscored Taylor by 32 points in the paint today, 52-20. And that was really where the game turned this afternoon. The Trojans outscored the Lancers by 24 points from beyond the arc, making 8 3-point baskets today. But the Lancers scored 8 more field goals overall, and it was unable for the Trojans to make up that difference with the 3-point shooting and the 2 more free throws made on the afternoon. We had 1 tie, we had 1 lead change. Grace took the lead for good at 34-33. They did not look back after that. The key stretch of the game was when Jason Hubbard picked up his second foul at the 3:25 mark of the first half. The Lancers closed on a 12-4 run that carried into the second half at one point, getting to 25-7 at 53-40. The Trojans trailed by as many as 13 for 59-46. They came back to make it a tight ball game late. Trailed by 3, 77-74, but some 3 free throws were knocked down for the Lancers, and they come away with an 80-74 win this afternoon. The victory moves Grace to 21-7 overall, 10-6 in the Crossroads League. They came into the day tied for 4th with Mount Vernon Nazarene in the league standings, a game back of St. Francis in 3rd, and a game up of Huntington, who is in 6th, excuse me. Taylor, meanwhile, still fighting for that final Crossroads League tournament spot. They were tied with Bethel this afternoon, a team that they beat last week. They're 3 games behind Huntington and 2 games up on Goshen. So the best the Trojans can do now is get to that 7th spot in the Crossroads League standings. And again, 2 games up on Goshen. Could be 1 if the Maple Leafs were able to get a victory today. Special thanks to our entire crew today. Kelly Neff, McKenna Ricker for the men's game, Ashton Whitman and Caroline for the women's game. The executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is Cameron Andrew. Today was senior day, and it was ruined by the Grace Lancers for the 7-member senior class. 4 players, 2 managers, and 1 student assistant coach. They were treated to a good one today inside Odell Arena, a packed house of almost 750 people. It was rowdy from the senior day ceremony after the women's game, and it stayed that way through the end of regulation today. Grace picks up the win. They sweep the Trojans here in 21-22 with an 80-74 victory. Here this afternoon from inside Odell Arena. We're back at it on Tuesday night when the men's basketball team will wrap up the regular season here at home when they take on Indiana Wesleyan, the top team in the Crossroads League. That's a 7 o'clock tip time coming up at 7 o'clock here inside Odell Arena on Tuesday night. Once again, our final score from inside Odell Arena. Grace defeats the Trojans 80-74. Ironically enough, both teams scored the same amount of points in the first half and the second half, 40 for Grace and 37 for Taylor. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Basketball on the Trojan Sports Network. Until we talk to you on Tuesday, we say goodnight and have a great weekend from Upland, Indiana.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.